We also learnt in the past 24 hours of a death that took place not too far from the South Australian and Victoria border, a border that has been slammed shut, at that time for just under 10 cases of coronavirus. The Victorian government is acting proportionately at this stage. Whether they're doing that because of the Australian Open being here or not, well, that's for you to judge. But the South Australian government is acting irrationally. They decided that by midnight last night, if you had come from Greater Melbourne, that after midnight last night, if you got back to South Australia, you'd have to go into quarantine. You would not be allowed to cross the border. So people rushed to cross the border. This was the decision that was announced just late yesterday by the South Australian Police on behalf of the government.
Our intention is, as of midnight, to institute a lockout for the Greater Melbourne area. So people who are in the Greater Melbourne area are in all likelihood, as of midnight, not going to be able to enter South Australia.
So this is what happens when thousands of people are given not enough time to get home because of 10 cases, not 50, not 100. This is what happens. Premier Marshmallow, of course, is just sending his thoughts and prayers.
I'd also like to extend my personal condolences to the family of the man who passed away this morning and those injured in the trucking accident on the Victoria-South Australia border. While investigations are still ongoing by Victorian authorities, any loss of life is a tragedy. We'll obviously wait for that full investigation.
How much loss of life can there be before the people in charge understand that their decisions have consequences? Is the Premier directly responsible for the actions of the truck driver? Of course not. Is the Premier responsible for the circumstances of get out of Dodge and get home within just a few hours? You bet. Especially when, I repeat, for the 900th time, we're talking about 10 cases. Susie O'Brien wrote beautifully today about this in the Herald Sun, where she says that the border closure panic must stop because it's now costing lives. There's no need for such drastic action to be made close to the border with such little notice. People should have been given time to get across if they need it in a safe and orderly way. Here's the same police defending not their decision but the decision of government, but it was their job to enforce at midnight.
These border checkpoints are put in place to protect the South Australian community, both from a physical health point of view as well as an economic and social perspective as well. It's incredibly sad that someone's lost their lives in these circumstances.
It's just madness. It really is madness. But lad, it's a madness and a panic that will continue all day, every day. It is relentless, but they will not break our spirit and they will not break our sense of logic.